Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to the car. Today, we're doing a post workout career advice video, and we have a question from Sprudo Sperde, who says, "Hi, Andreas. I'm in need of some engineering career advice if you're willing to be a YouTube comment mentor. What's your take on bailing on a Death March project? Is this something you've done or been tempted to do? I'm very stressed by a project that I'm on and decided to apply around to some new gigs, and now have a couple of offers in hand. The pay and benefits are better, though not by much, but I'm mostly concerned about burning professional bridges. This is at my first job out of school, so my professional network mostly consists of folks at this job. I'm additionally worried about grass is greener syndrome kicking in. Maybe I don't have it as bad as I think I do, and these new jobs could be just as bad, if not worse. I'm currently doing 50, 60 hours a week, and have been for a few months, and this will likely continue late into 2021. I'm worried I might be shooting myself in the foot by jumping overboard from my first crunch time project." Okay, so that's a very interesting question. And I don't know what industry you're in specifically, but 50, 60-hour weeks mandated by the employer, um, that's that's pretty hardcore. I don't have personal experience with that. I've worked many jobs where I voluntarily put in, 60, 70, sometimes 80 hours a week just because I wanted to work on the stuff, but I've never been forced to. So just letting you know that I don't have personal experience with that. But anyway, um, generally speaking, I think it's perfectly fine to quit a job at any stage, really, um, as long as you do it in a mature and civilized way, and you uphold your side of the agreement. And the nice thing about jobs is that they come with contracts, and in the contracts, there's everything you need to know about the job. What are your responsibilities, but also what are the terms for ending the job contract, right? So I don't know where you are in the world, but I'd imagine you have what's it called? Notice period. When you say like, "Oh, I'm quitting this job," and then you have, I don't know, in Sweden it's like 30 days or something. I don't know. I haven't quit a job in Sweden in forever, so I don't actually remember. But uh, but you quit your job, and then there's a notice period, and then the company has you for that long, so that they can transfer all your knowledge to a new person, or get you to finish whatever you were working on in a satisfactory manner. And like, unless we're dealing with like some particularly pissy employer, I can't imagine that somebody would have a problem with you like quitting in a civilized way. And I think the important thing here is to just be honest and upfront with your current employer, and tell them that, like, "Hey, I'm have to be honest with you. I'm looking at a couple of offers," and you don't have to tell them any specifics, right? You can just tell them that you're looking at some offers, so that the places they are offering more. You don't have to tell them that it's not that much more, or whatever it is that they're offering. You can just say that you're looking at some better offers, and you're probably you're thinking about putting in your notice, right? Give your employer a heads up as soon as you feel serious about it, and I don't think that you would have a problem. Now, my personal experience with this was I messed this up so bad once, and I've talked about this earlier on this channel, but it was, what was it, like 9 years ago or something. I put in my notice too early. I put in my notice before I had a formal offer from my new job, and I thought, because I was in contact with a guy at the new job, and he kept assuring me that, like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the offer out to you real soon, any day now," and I wanted to be like nice, honest, and upfront with my employer at the time. So I just told my manager, "Hey, I got to be honest with you. I've applied to a new job, and they're going to send me an offer, so I'm going to accept it." Um, and then they took like 6 months to send the offer, and it was so freaking awkward um, because my manager was so nice about it, but like, damn, did I fuck up? Because like, she didn't like dare assign anything to me because I could be leaving any moment, and um, I don't know. I felt so bad about that the whole time after I realized that it was gonna take forever. So don't do that. Like, actually, if you don't actually have like a literal offer, don't tell your current employer that you do. Uh, but if you have an actual offer, then yeah, you can do that, and that's okay. I think companies, it's not that they promote this culture necessarily, but they certainly don't do anything to stop it. This sort of implied culture that you're burning bridges, as you say, that you're such a bad person if you leave a job. You leave all your coworkers in the middle of crunch, and like, I think that's just nonsense that just benefits companies and does not benefit you. And obviously, they have no incentive to stop you from believing that. So, but it's just not true. Like, everybody, we're all adults here, right? Like, you made a job contract with someone. Just stick to the contract. Be serious. Be an adult about it, and you're gonna be fine. Um, Now, as far as grass is greener syndrome, that's that's hard to say. Like, your first job, I mean, statistically speaking, your first job is not the best job that you're ever going to have. That's just so unlikely, right? And you have no way of knowing this right now. It's just extremely unlikely. That's like, you would get, I don't know. I don't play cards, but like, you would get a hand of cards, and it would be like the best hand immediately on the first time you ever get a hand. That's just very unlikely, right? And you have no way of knowing that right now until you actually try some other jobs. And part of being young and growing up in the job market and everything is having a couple of different jobs, and trying different things, and going through the process of getting hired, getting onboarded, getting comfortable, and getting uncomfortable, and then leaving. Looking for new jobs, and then going through that process, and this is something that's just part of being a professional, or being like, I don't know what to call it. I guess a professional. Um, and it's something that you have to do. If you don't do this, but instead you just stay at one place forever, um, I don't think that's very healthy. Um, just because of what I was saying, that it's just so unlikely that you're in the best possible place right now. You need to try a couple of different things just to find out what you like. Um, just like you got to try different flavors of ice cream to figure out which one you like. If that makes sense. Or in keeping more with the theme of the channel, you got to try a couple of Linux distributions or whatever, figure out which one you like. You got to try a couple of desktop environments. Um, but yeah, I think the grass is very likely greener in your case. If you told me that this was your 10th job, and you felt the same way that you describe, then I would say that, yeah, that might be grass is greener syndrome, because you're like a serial job switcher. But your first job, it's okay to quit your first job. Everybody quits their first job. It's weird not to quit your first job, or it's unusual, right? And you shouldn't feel bad about it, because you're going to do it sooner or later anyway. Now, um, you mentioned like your professional network. Um, I I don't know about the value of professional network because I don't know about whatever specific industry you're in. Like if you're in the games industry or something like that, I don't know how it works there so much, so I can't speak to that if that's the industry. I just hear crunch time, I think games, um, but in my experience as a more like generalist programmer or like programmer willing to work on any software, um, my professional network has not mattered that much. Like it was just for me, it was just a matter of like going to interviews and talking to the people. And I had basically a pretty shit resume always because I dropped out of high school and just did my own thing. And my resume is absolutely unimpressive to any HR department ever, but um, I make up for that by being reasonably talkative and being able to, program. Um, so it tends to work out. But at least I have never knowingly benefited from having a professional network when it comes to getting these jobs in the last 10 years, I think. Mm, but I don't know at the same time, like maybe something happened behind the scenes um, that I never found out about. So that part is hard to say because I mean I've certainly like given recommendations about hiring um, when like somebody I knew was being interviewed at a place where I worked, and then I would say like, "Oh, I know him. He's a good guy," or whatever. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, this part is a little bit unclear. Maybe I was benefiting from having friends that or like not friends but like acquaintances in places where I was applying for a job. Maybe, but if you're not a jerk to your current coworkers, I don't see why they would change their mind about you just because you get a better offer somewhere else and you decide to take it. Um, I don't think they would act any differently, uh, and they shouldn't. But what do I know? Um, I'm just I'm just some guy. But I've quit many jobs, and um, I only quit one job on bad terms because they wouldn't pay me, and there was no way that was going to end on good terms for a multitude of reasons. But ever since then, like it's always been on good terms, and it's like I said, like it's part of growing up is quitting your job and going through that process. It's like a breakup, but professionally. You got to do it, man. Anyway, um, I hope some of that answers your questions. I think I think you're gonna be okay. Spurdo Sperda. Don't overthink these things too much, and don't um, don't worry. It's not such a big deal. You'll see later that it was not such a big deal. But yeah. Anyways, I guess that's my thoughts on that. Um, and um, it's nice to take a question like that. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to talk about anything, and I'll try to answer as best as I can from personal experience. And I'll try to give disclaimers like I just did, where I don't have exactly the same experience, but I can still speak as somebody who's spent you know well over a decade in this industry. Yeah, so I don't even know how to round this video off, but it was nice to talk to you, and I'm just gonna go and have a shower. So see you next time. Bye.